Hey everybody, good morning. It's a beautiful day. Raining today, not a beautiful sunny day today. Let's see, we got Goose and Dawn and Robin, Rex and Sergio, Dan, Darren, Jason, David, Diane, Ivan, Mark, Arturo, Svenborn, David, Mad, Amy, Kevin, Jim. Oh, skip the chat. Love it when I do that. Ryan, Cliff, Chris. Good morning, everybody. Who thinks, raise a hand, who thinks it's the AI thing that the news is all over? Anybody? Anybody? Anybody think that's the real story? Got news for you. This AI thing came out like early last week, and it's not the story. The media's all over it, but it's not the story. The yen carry trade is blowing out again. But China's the bigger evil, right? I mean, look at that. NASDAQ down 700 points. ES down 132 points. I mean, so, yeah, I told you. Yeah, it's kind of funny. We put limits on China, so what do? They innovate. They come up with something better. They spent reportedly $10 million, used old H100 GPUs that been outmoded for a couple years, and developed this AI that's now open source, runs 50 times more efficiently. You can run a pretty fancy model on a couple 4070 regular consumer 4070 GPUs, like I have in this broadcast computer right here, and 50 times more efficient. It kind of negates that Stargate $500 billion thing. And they released it open source, so people like Meta can just grab it and modify it and make it better, even better. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think they're just shaking up the AI world a little bit. You put limits on people, and they figure out ways to innovate. I mean, that's kind of the innovation is the, what do they call it? Like innovation is the necessity or whatever, born out of necessity. So anyway, check that out right there. Look at that back test. Beautiful. Can we hold it? If we hold it, good. If we don't hold it, coming right down here. And this may continue through Wednesday. I didn't really see the scenario that we would pull back, but I guess the yen carry trade. I mentioned this on Friday, if y'all remember. I mentioned how, necessity is the mother of invention. There you go. Except, yeah. So, I mentioned the carry trade on Friday. For anybody that recalls, Bank of Japan was trying to cut rates. They wanted to cut rates, their market rate. Like we have the DGS2, the 2-year constant maturity rate. Their market rate jumped a half a point, basically overnight. 0.5 up. Bank of Japan was trying to cut rates. They can't cut rates when their rate jumps a half a point. It's kind of like us. Like if our rate jumps a half a point, we're pretty screwed at this point. Like this thing jumps a half a point up to 4.75, 4.8. And they're not going to be able to cut rates anymore. That's for sure. That's for sure. I guess we'll see what happens. The orange is the Fed funds rate. The blue is the market rate for the United States. I don't have a great chart for yen's rates. Just don't. It doesn't interest me to build such a thing to show it off. But our old pal NKD. Been watching this. Now I'm froze up. There we go. Look at that. Dun, 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 dun. We tried to break out Friday, got the pop in the rates, and guess what? Bottom of the box is right here. If we get below it, this thing's getting a lot worse. Right there. that's the one to watch. Oh, cool. Leaf blower. Hope that's not coming through too loud. Looks like it's picking it up just a little bit on the mic. So, yen carry trade. That's the one to watch. If this blows out, you know, we saw what this did over here, right? This kind of candle was the first leg, and then things got a lot worse. So you may want to set the sails, trim the sails. This thing could get a lot worse here if we do another one of those, because we're probably going deeper, lower low than we did back in August. The media doesn't want to make Japan the bad guy. It's much easier to make China the bad guy on the news. So be careful what you're listening to. All right? Be careful what you're listening to. Dun, 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 dun. This is gonna flush. I told you something was up in semiconductors for a while. You know, the charts were kind of telling us, be careful. Careful, be careful. Now, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance not necessarily indicative of future results. This presentation here intended to be informational, educational, fun, and entertaining, not a recommendation to be buying or selling any financial instrument. So don't buy stocks, don't buy options, don't buy bonds, don't buy Forex, don't buy futures, don't buy cryptos, don't buy treasuries. Don't trade them. Don't long them, don't short them, don't trade them. You know, all trading involves a substantial risk of loss. I just play, you know, an entertainer on YouTube. I'm not telling you what to do. So if you desire personal financial advice, hire a consultant financial advisor. I'm just showing you off some things I'm doing. That monster talking back to me today. Whew. All right. Dum, 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 dum. Calendar today. Not a lot happening today. Get some new home sales at 10. Might be a market moving event. If you're waiting to day trade, you might wait till after that news. So these news events that we see every day, if you're like trying to grab triple threats or something like that, you might want to wait till some of these early news items get out of the way, especially if they're coming out right after the market opens, like tomorrow, consumer confidence, right there at 10. And then we had a complaint from a guy that's like, oh, these things, the triple threats suck, especially if you try to get into them before XYZ time. And it's like, yeah, if there's a bunch of news coming out right in the first 30 minutes of the market, maybe you should skip that. Just saying. Anyway, common sense, right? Now, this is the big show this week. Right there. Good old-fashioned whizzing contest. Who's got the more power? Jerome Powell, Donald Trump over the markets. DeepSeek or Japan? I don't know. I don't think any of them do. We've already known that the chart looked like something's wrong. Been saying it for a while. And really it's the monster mixed with what I had for dinner last night. And for channel members, you saw like the pictures are on the feed. So still my stomach hadn't cleared yet. I ate more of those than I meant to. Anyway, all right. That's the big show there Wednesday. See what happens. I don't expect them to cut rates. I don't expect them to raise rates either. I expect it just to hold. But we'll see what they say. If they cut rates like Trump wants, we're setting up for a problem. And remember, the Fed rate doesn't matter a hill of beans into the actual any actual rates. That's the whole misnomer, is that the Fed rate matters. The market sets its own rate. That's, when they cut last time and interest and mortgage rates went up, everybody was like, "What the fudge happened?" This has nothing. This Fed funds rate has nothing to do with the real market rates. So it's just this doesn't. And then on Thursday, we get a little GDP. This could be market moving also. Some pending home sales. So, Thursday stacked. So we got big tech earnings with Meta and Tesla on Wednesday, right after FOMC. This is going to be a week of fireworks, man. If there was a week that you might want to be careful with your money, this will be it. This will be the first one this week. I mean, you should always be careful with your money, but this week could be a little spicy. Then we get PCE, right there on Friday. It's going to be a week of fireworks. I mean, we knew it coming into Trump last week on Monday. I mean, it seems like it's been a year already in a week, right? All the things have been going on. It's wild. So we'll see. More volatility to come. That's what I'd say all week. So expect volatility. Does that mean VIX pops? Not necessarily. I'm sure VIX is a monster today. Look at that, baby. So we got cooking, 21. Already giving it back just a little bit. So the futures, the futures already pulling back pretty big. Market opens in 3 minutes. Should be interesting. Should be an interesting day. I'm not sure the flush is done. Like I said, NKD kind of indicating that we may see, Fed funds rate is just interbank borrowing. And so as Goose says, I mean, other interest rates are built upon it, but sometimes it just doesn't matter. Like if the banks aren't using interbank lending and things like that, it's really the Fed funds rate when they need to borrow liquidity from the Fed. Overnight lending to each other is kind of set by different rates. So, and is that going down? We had this target down here. We were so close, yet now so far away. I was kind of warning. This was the warning sign to me. Now everything's got to crawl. 900,000 people on TradingView. This was the warning right here. We were up here. Now we're going to come back down here before we can go up again. Stocks above the 20-day. If you've never seen this, right there. Be careful. S5FI. I was mentioning last week we might need a double dip. We might see that today. Could come all the way back down to the bottom. We hung out down here for a little bit, and then we came up. But we might need a dip again. We're going up to the top. It's just patterns, everybody. Just patterns. Looking at the stocks above the 20 or 200-day, 200-day. This probably coming down here. Retest that uptrend that goes all the way back to the lows. If we get below it, it's probably coming on down to the bottom. Yes. Perfect retest. So if we can hold it, this is one where the market could ignore the end carry trade. I don't like if it really starts getting out of control, we're probably not stopping it. But if we hold here, it's going to be indicative that we're going to launch much bigger than just here. We could get a bigger pop. And here goes the market. I got to go look at NVIDIA. How about that? How about those puts? Oh, yeah. Come on, baby. That's not even that bad, really. That's not even a drop, really. I mean, come on. It's just down to the roadmap line. I would love to see something flush down here. That would get spicy. That would hurt in the market. I mean, look at that, though. If we go look at the numbers here, $1 is $25 billion, right? 25 billion. Or 24.5 billion. This thing just dropped 20 bucks. Almost. Whew. That money just got vaporized. Whew. 24.5 times. Let's go 18. $441 billion just vaporized off the market cap of NVIDIA. What is it? I wonder what it takes to get $1 trillion. $40 down. 41 down. So if this gets to 41 down, that's $1 trillion gone off NVIDIA. Whew. That's crazy, right? That's crazy. Turn a little green. Now, I would expect a bounce, and then we'll see what happens. The list is incredibly long today. I don't know if I'll go through the whole thing. I may get list fatigue before I get to the end of it. It was almost 300 tickers on the list, and only like 30 were positive. Everything else was a decliner. Yeah, it's ridiculous. So buckle up. We'll get into it. So the big show here, can ES hold the bounce? Yes or no? Can NQ hold the bounce? And starting to look a little iffy here on being able to hold the bounce. I don't know. We'll see. Russell, although it did retest, look at that, all the way back and retested the breakout level too. All the way down there, retested that breakout. That level back here. Holy moly. Things are getting wild. That might flush even deeper. We could see NASDAQ. That's weird. It's not even moving. Anyway, Russell. See what we got cooking here. Relatively unaffected by AI stuff right now, Russell, right? It's going to be a slow load. So we're back. We haven't even back tested the downtrend of highs on Russell. Relatively unfazed in this. What did this one do in August? And so far, this is a big tech shakeout, but we could see something more like this that takes us right down here if this carry trade thing develops further. CL hit the roadmap line. Tested right there. Everything's gonna be super slow. I'm not sure if I have the patience for this today. Oh my goodness. Come on. It's like the simplest thing. Just an EMA. Golly, come on. Yeah. Not even going to load it. That hit right there. Moving on. Gold. Like I said, 900 million people loading their trading view, being like, oh my gosh. Gold may come down again. It did hit the target. Hit that intermediate target. Retrace. Find support. Go for another one. Bitcoin. Holding 100,000. That's kind of my level right there. We dipped back. We did test that. It's getting the same picture all over the place. Like maybe this breakout's strong enough to hold and we go higher. Maybe. It depends on what server you're on. I mean, it's a cloud infrastructure thing. So obviously the server I'm using is somewhat, plus I have some of these indicators, if I turn them on, they suck down some power. So be careful right there. Plus I have 300 tickers updating live in the list. So pulling down some information. And Ethereum. Getting close. This might be the flush out we needed right here. I've been saying for a while, something's up with Ethereum. Doesn't got far to go. If we can drop down in here and hold, that might bring it back into alignment. We break out, we can go higher, bring it into alignment with Bitcoin and save the day on this one. Because right now this looks like it might be setting up for a bigger flush with the lower highs. It double topped at a lower high. Not good. No bueno, as I say. If we can hold in this area, break back higher, holds the higher low, the uptrend of lows there. Get out of here and go make those highs on Ethereum. Otherwise, we start down below 2,500. This doesn't look too good. Be careful on Ethereum. Dollar. Yeah. Plummet back down to the roadmap line. Then come on down. That's what we're looking at there. NKD. Like I said, watch for this one to break down below this box. If we start out the bottom, that's where the big stuff happened before. We got 1, 2. It was the third big day down where the U.S. market flushed hard. That was August 5th right there. I remember it because I got stopped out in the pre-market. Really made me, I got forced closed. They took action and forced closed me. Really, really made me mad. Booked a mini $1,000 loss. That was not a 6-figure, but it was well into the 5 figures. I made it back by December, but that sucked. Actually, I made it back by October, I think. Golly, that's gonna burn it's gonna burn me for a little while. I'm really upset about that. Anyway, still upset about it. Water under the bridge, but shouldn't have happened. It's just brokers being brokers. All right. Things that are popping. We don't have many, but AKRO, nice. Pop. Pharmaceutical, not touching it. JG, that's ridiculous. Aurora Mobile Limited, data processing. Right up into this resistance. Already looks like a dumpster fire. Be careful. I can drop right back down. Does not have to keep going higher. Aspen. Targets are up here, 277. NXPI. Hey, wait a minute. I thought semiconductors were getting wrecked. There's the resistance. There's the support. UVIX. UltraVix. Watch out. That's going to drop right back. MVD. I have no idea what this is. This can't be the right ticker. There we go. That's the right ticker. MVD. It's a 2x short on NVIDIA. Popping as NVIDIA drops. TECS. Technology bears. Popping. These all look pretty nasty. I'd just be really careful. VXX. Probably going to drop right back down. VIXI. Probably going to drop right back down. SSG. I was talking to Goose over the weekend. I just want to show you something really quickly. When the market knows it's going to liquidate, this is how you know the game's rigged against us. Check this out. This was 2022. We all know it was a big down year, right? Into the October low, right? But look at this. This was not like exponential. This went up, came right back to the bottom. Went up, right back to the bottom. Went up, and came right back to the bottom. if you had bought here because you knew the market was going down, maybe you'd be up 30 bucks, but you would have had to endure these swings where you're like, oh, I'm up huge. And then, well, I'm backed up like a buck. And then we go into the next dip. You're up a double, but then it comes right back. So be careful. Like the market knew we were going to flush this out. And then this thing flushed as the market climbed. You got to be careful on some of this short stuff. It's definitely a trader's game. Ultra short semiconductors, pop on a little bit. Dumpster fire of a chart, reverse split. Be careful. NVDS. Man. You must be better off messing with the NVD. 2x leverage on that, baby. Excuse me. ETNB. Another biotech. UVIX, Ultra VIX, Ultra Short VIX. Oh, short term. Ultra short term, not short. Got to read all the words. Yeah. These just look really gnarly today. SVIX. Let's see what SVIX is doing. That might be a buying opportunity if we're going to bounce, if we're going to hold. So you could buy here, set your stop just right near the bottom of that. If we go ripping in the market, this will make money. If we go plummeting back out below 49, probably coming on down. Back up to the top, ETHD. Not much happening. Ultra short Ethereum, SQQQ, barely popping. I wouldn't buy that. Wouldn't buy that. Ooh. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh. Set your alert. If this breaks right there, probably going for the roadmap line. And then cold would work out. I wasn't thinking about what cold was at the moment. That could be opportunity. I may buy a few shares of that just to see. I need to set an alert right there. Now, there's the possibility that we bounce off of this uptrend of lows and shoot right up here, and then you'd have a way better entry for cold. But if we start down, this thing's probably going to come down here at the minimum and possibly back down here. Right there. Which means cold would rally up to the roadmap line, probably. This is a leveraged short, ultra short. Be careful. Substantial risk of loss, higher than other things. Don't play leverage. SOXS, 3x bear on semiconductors. Popping, but that looks like pretty much a dumpster fire right there. I don't know. Do you want to mess with it or not? QID, looks like the same chart. BABA. Potential bouncing here, but that's not getting off the mat. Still lower high than that right there. Still way below the conservative entry right up there. Got some work to do. Yeah, now my trading view is speeding up. Cool. I like it. Nice. Probably coming on down. TSDD. 2x short on Tesla daily. That one did a dumpster fire reverse split right there. Be careful. See how Tesla's doing today. Ah, green. Nice. Holding the bottom of the support zone that I wanted to see. That's a measured bounce. Potential. That climb, that retrace. Guess what? That high, that low. Break back above that 422 area. Going for 450. Earnings coming up on Wednesday. Could be a spicy one this week. Procter & Gamble. Into the roadmap resistance. I'm just hunting for opportunities here. Most of these aren't going to be. That's an opportunity to go down further. Resistance right there. TXN. And I've been warning about semiconductors for a while here. Something's up. Novartis popping up. Roadmap line resistance. We came up shy of the targets. That's resistance. This is resistance. So big resistance right there. And a big target right down here that we may come down before we actually pop. ABBV, ABBV. And anybody keeping up with GLP-1 drugs? There's some interesting news about, I think it's Eli Lilly they passed a new test, new application for their drugs. This thing, yeah, watch that roadmap line. If this breaks out, could go again. You know, FDA approvals and stuff like that does matter in the biotech space. Like, that's one of the only news items that seems to matter in a big way. So keep an eye on these. New application for GLP-1 drugs opens up a new market. A lot of potential. Baidu. Still below the roadmap line. Duke Energy. Well, that could be a bounce. Look at that. This one finally starting to recover off of the hurricane stuff. Potential to break back up and get going. Got wrecked on Helene. All right, decliners. Like I said, there's like 300 decliners. 200 and whatever. Whatever I put in the chat. FNGU, look at that. Right back down to that trend line. Can we hold it? Or we're going down here. Today, tomorrow, Wednesday, kind of the tell. Be careful. Warning shots have been fired. GE Veranova. Coming back to the roadmap line. That's what that looks like. We're back to the consolidation at the minimum. It can find support here and go higher. Doesn't have to hit the roadmap line, but so that high, that low. Next upside target, 465. If we can break back up through 400. Not bad. ASML. Yeah, come on, baby. It's kind of funny, right? Look at that. I said, you know, I don't expect this to get above the roadmap line. And I kind of expect it to drop on down to 600. We're halfway there. Not far to go. I didn't know DeepSeek was going to be the narrative. CEG. Golly, man. Feels like every time I talk, feels like I got something right there. CEG, watch for that to come on down. I was warning that was up past the targets. We have further targets to go, but the likelihood, yeah. Now, if just like in Q, NASDAQ, if we can hold the breakout level, that can go higher. If we start getting below it, we're coming back down in this zone right in here. Maybe even going down here. How is CEG, tell me, how is CEG related Oh, it's energy, you know. They're not going to need as much energy infrastructure for AI. Okay, so that's why I pulled back today. Okay, whatever. Fix coming back down. I mean, you can make up whatever you want to. You can sow whatever weird narrative you want to. How many people sold CEG because of this AI thing? Raise your hand last week if you were selling anything AI related because of this DeepSeek thing. The narrative is just a complete bullshit. So be careful. Fix. Coming back down to the roadmap line. Melly. Traders. We're the traders, right? They're like, traders we're concerned about. We're the traders. We are the traders. Like, how many people made a decision on Jack Squat? Resistance. Be careful. Watch out for a further decline. Hubble. Down to the roadmap line. That high. That low. That's just a choppy mess at this point. I would be very careful on this one. This looks like some instability. Maybe flushing on further down. Trader bots. Maybe. I mean, VST. We needed a reason to pull back. Everything. A lot of things were getting a little too spicy. So VST. It's on the list. I saw somebody in the chat saying VST down big. There you go. Probably coming back to the roadmap line. It was way extended. Look at that. The last time we stopped right there. We stopped right there. All these we climbed the fib ladder. Ping ponged between those two for a little bit, then came back to that one, then shot up. Almost got there. Couldn't make it. Back to the roadmap line would be what I expect right there. I mean, that's a perfect climbing the fib ladder example right there. Perfect. Look at that. Struggle. Got to that one. Came back down a rung. Tried again. Back down to the breakout. Right there was the breakout test. Held. Shot up. Ping pong. Back down to that level. Retest that. Oh, couldn't make it. Beautiful. That's how it works. We see that over and over and over. Like for ones that are going to extend, that's kind of the classic price action right there. Highly likely to come back down. I've had this drawn on there for a while. TLN, probably coming back down to supports. These can miss. You know, they don't have to make it to support. This one found support, found support, found support. We could have an uptrend of lows. We could hold in this zone and go again. It does not have to come back to the roadmap line, but cleans things up for a trade if it does. KLAC coming back for a back test. If we hold it, turn back up through here. That's a trade going higher. If we break down below it, coming down here. ETN. Eaton. That high, that low, that high. Potential for this to find its bottom here. It's difficult to trade that one, but if it pops back up through, you could buy now. Stop goes below the low. Conservative entry up here above 357. Looking for 390 on the upside. These are the opportunities I'm looking for. VGT, Vanguard Information Technology, probably coming back to the roadmap line. That one. Oh my handy dandy stuff in the way there. Look at that. Look how beautiful that stopped right there. Now we could go on up here like we did on VST. It's going to take me all day to go through this list. NVMI, coming back for the roadmap line. Power, coming Coming back for the roadmap line. Ooh, yeah, look at that one. That looks pretty spicy. Didn't quite hit yet. I want to see that come down just a little bit more. That could be a nice one. Could be a really nice one. Pop back up through 340, 370 on the upside. Empower. Guess what? Roadmap line resistance. Can make a lower low below that low. AVGO. Morning opal. Oh, Jody. It's your gift right here. Do whatever you need to do, girl. This is your gift. It's the market handing you your opportunity right here. Hopefully she's on the stream. If she's not, somebody ping her in the TTL chat. This is her gift on AVGO. She needs to take some action, whatever she needs to do, manage her position. URI. There you go, covered call. So just look at the numbers. If you need to make an adjustment, if you need to adjust the call you got, now's your time. If you need to book that profit, get it off of there, change the call. This is your opportunity. I know you have a covered call, but if you need to change the call, now is the opportunity. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. URI. Right there. BRT. Oh, beautiful. That one. Love to see that just a little bit deeper, but another beautiful potential to go up again. TT. Potential Train Technologies. Is that the air conditioner people? Yeah, there you go. There you go. Now you got me. You understand what I'm saying. I'm not telling you what to do, but, you know, this is your opportunity if you want to do that right there. And the market has handed you the opportunity to be able to get out and not cap the upside. I'm not saying it won't go down further, but so that rejected right off of there. This may come down a little bit lower. Right there. Potential. We get back above this, probably going up here. PLWO. That really looks like it's going down. I mean, you see how we stopped at the 618 here? Came back down. If we hold this, probably going on out. If we break down below this, probably coming on down here. SMPS. Choppy sideways. I don't like it. NVIDIA. I've been warning that this chart said we were going down. Awesome. Awesome. Great work, Jody. Great work. MDGL. Right there. That supports. It's kind of choppy. I don't know. It's back to pharmaceuticals. Bulls. That may be just a double bounce, and we break up higher than this, and we're going up 210. This could be a super low entry if you were inclined to get involved in something like that. TSM. This really looks like we're coming back to the roadmap line. The first time since August, if we can do that. Microsoft return return to go. Do not do not collect. Go to jail. Right back to the beginning. Looked ripe for popping, but got slammed right back down. Golly. How much money came off the market today? Nvidia went from number 1 to number 4, or number 3. They were like almost 3.6 trillion last week. Now they're down to 3.1 trillion. Half a trillion dollars gone. Vaporized. Been warning about Nvidia. Be careful. Anybody doubting me on Nvidia at this point? How dangerous it could be? QQQ. Back to the trend line. Can we hold it, or are we coming down to here? I honestly don't know today. Like, do we bounce off of this, or do we come down here? That's like the two choices. Like we bounce and go up. We're sitting right at it today. Right at it on Q. Right at it on SPY. SPY looking better than QQQ. There it is. Meta. Yeah, I'm not even like a quarter through the list. Holy sugar. That reports earnings on Wednesday also, along with Tesla. Watch out. This obviously not affected by what's going on today at all. Watch out for retrace. SMH. That's barely, oh, there it is. Back to the roadmap line. I was like, that's barely affected. No, I warned that hit the target. That was a roadmap bounce. Hopefully, anybody that took that trade, that was the chart of the day, however many days ago. Let's turn on this should have been from December 6th. We're in the chart of the day. Opportunity. Bonus trade opportunity. Hit the target right there. Now we're back to the roadmap line. Classic market roadmap pattern. Make a high, make a low, hits the roadmap line, get the entry on the close above the 618. Didn't matter. Boom, target right there. What happens when the target's done? Back to the roadmap line. Classic. Now, if you don't have the roadmap line, check it out. Click on my channel homepage. The video pinned gives you the roadmap line for free. If you're like, I don't like to put in code, I don't understand code, that's not my thing. Links in the description. You click more under the video, the bigger more button down here on a browser. $5 get you the easy button. You can add it right to your chart. Give you a watch list every week if you do that option. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. NVDL. Awesome. Right there, breaking down. Watch for the bigger flush potential. NVIDIA could be indicating a bigger... Now, let's circle back for a second. Circle back. Circle back. Let's just drop to NVIDIA. So if this bounces... Now, if this is a roadmap bounce itself... See, this played out over here. Look, we bounced, got the target. Right? That was back here. This was the August drop. We popped up, hit the target. Same situation. If this is going to hold for NVIDIA, here's the high, here's the low. We come back up through this right here. Conservative entry. The target is right up here. Now, put me on the other side really quickly. You can see, that's cool. Didn't mean to put the leverage on there. 12 times this has worked in the past. 100% profitable. What's the profit factor? It's like infinity because it always works. Like this has never failed in the, however long this is back testing. But it does tend to last 209 bars. So how long are bars? That's trading days. 209 trading days is a long freaking time. It's almost a year. So be careful. The average one lasts about a year. Can we go up there? We'll see. This is the line right there. Now, if it continues below, which this is looking a little weak right now, hard to tell right now, one candle. If this gets continuation down, this could be ugly. That's the target zone. 60 to 80. If things get really sour, 40. Maybe like, JT, what are you saying? That's $80 down. Yeah, $80 down. Get the calculator back up. $80 down times $24.5 billion per point. That's almost $2 trillion. $2 trillion flush out potential on NVIDIA right there. Yikes. Dun, 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 dun. So the list is everything moving $2 more up or down in the pre-market. That's the list. I use a tool. I wrote a tool that goes and pulls that. And I look at the pre-market and don't update it as the market comes live. That's an entry. There's the target. This is the market roadmap pattern right there. Joy, if you want to learn the pattern, links in the description, or you can go to the channel homepage and watch the video. It teaches you. Basically, this is the pattern. There's two main patterns I watch. This is the high probability pattern. I have all these statistics down here. This one, 86% of the time it works out. Profit factor 2.1. Highly likely to go up to 203.67. Now, can it fail? Sure. It's back down here. Stop is dollar below the low. Right there. Can it fail? You betcha. So, there you go. I give it away for free. Like, you can go watch the video for free. Like, you can get the code, you can get everything for free. I'm not trying to get you money. And $5 is, that's less than Starbucks. So, now my other pattern, let's just talk about it real briefly. When you have something like this, chart coming down, chart retrace. I should draw this in actual lines. That comes down, we get a bounce. See this a lot, right? And then you get a retrace, about like that. Take the fibs, draw them like this. That's 618 right there. This is called a measured bounce, all right? You get a trend, a reversal of the trend, and then we stop right there. And if we break higher, right here, notice no roadmap line, no nothing involved. That's called a measured bounce. And we use the 3-point fib tool right here. This low, this high, this low. The target becomes right here for the next move. But we got to hold right in there. We got to hold it. Now, you see me use this a lot on the other way. I actually use that a lot this way. You see, we've a lot of times see stocks rising, coming up, and then we get an initial drop. A lot of times it comes back to the roadmap line. I draw those fib lines on there. A lot of times this will be like a roadmap line hanging out right here. We draw that fib line, we get a bounce. And then I draw that 3-point tool from here to here to here, and I'm like, oh, this looks like it's going to drop. If we get through the roadmap line, probably going to come down here. That's a measured bounce upside down. That's how this works, all right? As these are Elliott wave reversals, and if you're not familiar with the Elliott wave, that's okay. You don't have to learn it, but that's where it all comes from. All right. Hopefully that helped everybody. See, that's why this could fail. Like it came up, could be the measured bounce. It's gonna fail, and that's why stopping out $1 below the low is good, because the target could be on down here. And you could take a bigger loss. It doesn't have to stop there either. It can keep going. So, app probably coming back to the roadmap line. Onto ONTO. Just choppy sideways. Did fire off the entry back here. 250 still in the cards, but just kind of taking it sweet time, getting there. CDNS. See what we got. The bigger bounce is in play, but that's going to be on a weekly chart. This one right here kicked off. Target's 331, 336. Ain't it? And then there's another pattern I watch too. Like there's several patterns. This is the danger pattern right here. When we see stuff go exponential, then you get this pullback, you get a little consolidation in here, then we break down. Ouch. That's a bubble pattern. That's what I call it. So watch for this to mess around here, and we could break and come further down on ANET. Marvell. Same situation. We got up to the targets. Watch for the retrace. Could hold the breakout and go again. So there's some nuance in how it can climb the fib ladder. So we can find support in here, go even higher. That's possible. It didn't touch the 132. PTIR holding up really well today. So if this is all about AI, that's not the story here today on PLTR, but this could be looking for the bottom. PT. Dang it. Type the letters in the right order. Vogue, whatever. Arm. Back down. Dang, that one worked. I'll be hornswoggled. All right, I'm gonna turn that off. It's a distraction for me right at the moment. And back to the roadmap line. If we get below it, probably coming down here. I've been talking about that for forever. Feels like a year now. KMT, back to the roadmap line. This looks like that measure bounce thing, like I was saying, upside down. That move. Potentially down to 40. Tesla, ooh, turn a little red there. Maybe it's still a little red. Gap down open. Can we bounce? This is a measured bounce potential. Right there. Lots of fibs on here because there's lots of things going on. This pattern's very complex. Potential for this to break back up through here. Get the extension up in here. Maybe even out to 500. But it could come back to the roadmap line. Because this bounced over here. Rallied up short of that 618. Continuation will be down here. Coin flip. Flip a coin right there. I don't know. Coin flip on Tesla. BUG. Watch for that to come back down to the roadmap line. USD. Uh-oh. That's the target. Ultra semiconductor ETF. MSTR. Don't do that. As long as we hold the uptrend of lows, we're okay. Draw your trend line. Set your alert on the trend line. If we get below it, we're probably coming down here. IVV. Come back to the roadmap line. Looks like. Well, I guess IVV could hold the trend line. SPY, same. It's just an alternate SPY, basically. Core SPY. SPY. Looks the same. AGX looks like we're coming back to the roadmap line. Netflix holding up really well. Next target's that 1036 area. 1037. TECL. Technology bulls. Just choppy. Not indicating anything. Mod. Woo. Look at that one. Maybe down to 90. Hubs. Oh, that one turned and burned. Was down, now it's back up. Could be climbing the fib ladder. 834 next upside. VOO. Holding the trend line. SPXL. Barely holding onto the trend line. CAT. Now, SPXL does have that pattern. Like, it did kick off the entry. Slightly underwater. If you wanted to... If you didn't get into it, this may be your opportunity. Stop still down here. And if you wait for that, you know, maybe you want to wait for the bounce. I don't know. Cat fired off the entry. Target 427. Better opportunity to get in. Cheaper. CIEN. Coming back for roadmap line. CLS. Yep. That needs a retrace. 3618 was crazy high. Probably coming back down. A-Lab. Almost 2. Anybody want to doubt it now? When I said we're probably going to retrace on A-Lab. MTSI. A little bit lower to go. Now that's a nice one right there. Look at that. That is the breakout and the roadmap line all in that zone. Just a little bit lower. That would be a really, really, really nice potential place to bounce on this chart right here. That might be a buy if we hit that. Conservative entry up there. Target 156. $30 move potential. SOXX, just choppy, not indicating anything. COHR. Wow. Chop, 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 chop. That's that move, that move. And potential to hold here at 75 and then rally up to 120 area. MTZ. Back to the roadmap line. XLK. Back to the roadmap line. OEF, back to the roadmap line, Wix. That needs a retrace, but it may not do it. It may just consolidate here and climb on higher. 285, next upside. Intuit, getting whacked. 2618, that was pretty... double topped. It's got to maintain that 565 if we're going on out to a new high. DLR. Digital Realty Trust got whacked back to the roadmap line after getting to the 2618. Lots of these things. I was talking about how all these things were super over their skis last week. And there you go right there. We bounce, break above. Continuation 203. Coin. Ooh. Just missed the measured bounce. Missed the roadmap line. If things get a little worse in crypto, this is coming back down here. ISRG. Probably come back to the roadmap line. TQQQ. Can we save the day? Boy, that made double bounce. That may. I am long TQQQ. I'm actually long from back here. CRDO. Back to the roadmap line. MDB. Oh, that was cool. Trading view crashed the tab. Reloaded. Probably going lower. DXF. Nasty chart. MAT. Target down there. Adobe. Target down there. FTEC. Roadmap line. LII. I would expect the roadmap line, but that can just keep on going. It hasn't been down to the roadmap line in 2 years, almost year and a half. Really, it's been almost 2 years. Golly. It's been a monster. How many people got in that one? That would not have been one I was trading. Monster rip right there. Look at that upside. 187%. Crazy. NNE. Hit the target. Come back to the roadmap line. LU. Watch for the next leg. That down in here. AVL. Boom. Look at that. Look at that. Boom. Ha. Nailed it. Nailed it. Nailed it. That could be the bottom. APH. Back to the roadmap line. Uklo. Now that one can hold the breakouts. I would expect it to come down just a little bit more before we bounce. MU. My goodness, man. So far, I may get my opportunity to buy MUU. Oh, look at that price. I'm going to buy 1,000 shares. Why am I so hyped up on MU? Look at this. Remember that market roadmap line? Market roadmap. Remember the measured bounce thing? Look at the target on this mofo. Yeah. Kool-Aid man. That's 300. That's 200% gain right there. If we can break out and go, that would really be the target, but that'd be the extension target. Stuck, but if you can hold on to it for a while and then get 2x leverage on that, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. FNGO. Usually we look at FNGU. FNGO, back to the roadmap line. QLD, back to the roadmap line. GS, just cruising. Now, financials not being upset by this carry trade blowing out indicates that we may be slightly insulated from it. MS, JPM, AC, DFC. SoftBank not immune to it. So it doesn't actually have. This is indicative that maybe we're not getting continuation. Set your alerts on all of these just below this consolidation. If these start rolling, now then that's time to start trimming the sales because we're going on down. As long as the banks are holding up, we're probably going higher. Look at that Visa up. Wow. Yeah, banks are saying we're going higher. I'm gonna set the alert on FAS. FAS still set for 192. In BIS, no roadmap line, no nothing. But we're testing the uptrend of lows. If we get below it, we'll probably come back to the bottom. AVGX, 2x leverage on AVGO. That's got a ways to go to the trend line. CMI, roadmap line, SAI, trucking. Not looking so hot still. That's a downtrend of highs. QQQM. Back to the roadmap line. Amazon. That's holding up really well. I do have a bigger expectation. We come back to the roadmap line and maybe something deeper, but holding up and keep grinding higher. ACN, potential to bounce there. That actually looks pretty good. Was a decliner, now it's a popper, and 407 upside target. IYW, probably back to the roadmap line. SMCX, probably going lower. TSMX, what time is it? 10:30. You want to wrap this up? I mean, we're only like halfway through. Golly, the list was super long. Some stuff holding up really well. Lulu, probably going to pop. The XYZ, probably going to drop. Carvana. Next upside, 281. INOD. Back to the roadmap line. STX. Not really affected much. Shopify. Probably coming on down. XLY. Coming on down. I mean, there's only like 100 people left on the stream. Anything I said was helpful, beneficial, let me know. I mean, we could sit here. I mean, look at this. This list goes on and on and on. I think we covered the highlights. I'm going to go get started my day. Hopefully, something I said was helpful, beneficial, understanding what's going on. Hopefully the carry trade doesn't blow out bias for the day. As long as we can hold this uptrend on S&P, we could take this higher. We may fart around in here for a couple days into Wednesday and then launch. Be careful out there. Count your save, maybe your own. It's not being wrong that costs you money. It's staying wrong. If we get below that line, don't stay wrong. We can go much deeper. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you in Discord.